guys, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. So, something awesome on the farm happened, something exciting. Right beside us, 41 more acres came up for sale. And basically, this land is on the other side of the Blacktop Road from us. It's something that we'd really like to have. Even when we purchased our land, we always said that this field up here would be something we'd like to have. So there's like 5 acres of grassland on this area. I've got the Red Beaver here with me. He's a good buddy of mine. He is the best person I know for sniffing out property lines and understanding the lay of the land. So we're taking the Red Beaver with us so he can sniff out the property lines. Also, the Red Beaver is good at finding beaver dams. That's why we call him the Red Beaver, because he's always able to find a beaver dam anywhere, everywhere, any kind of beaver dam you want to find, Red Beaver can find it, okay? So, anyhow, we're going to walk the property lines, take some marking tape. We're going to mark our corners if we can find them. We're going to use the Red Beaver right here. I think he's sniffing out now. I call him the Red Beaver because he can easily find a beaver den in places you'd never think a beaver den would be. Stick around with us, we'll show you what's going on the Stoney Ridge. Woo! So I've told you guys before, we're always checking property lines. Once we get these property lines marked, we're going to mark them, keep them marked. Every year we're going to walk our property lines and make sure that they're marked well so we never lose it. So why do I have an orange vest on? It's so I don't get shot. Kind of neat. Woo! We live in the country, baby. Here's something cool, guys. What do we find here? There's a deer thing there. Bonsai, dude. Here's the first marker right here. We're going to go ahead and spray paint that, and there's a big old rock. There's a big rock right here. We're going to paint that rock so that we can find it really easily. Alright guys, so it looks like we've got a recent survey right here. We'll show you. This is a definite sign of a property line right here. And there's a ribbon. Red Beaver sniffed that one out good. Woo! Cool stuff on this property. It looks like we got an old car down here in a ditch, so we're going to check it out. So the Red Beaver sniffed out this old car down here. I looked down the hill and I thought I saw rust, and I saw the Red Beaver down there going and he found it. It was rad. There's a corn line right here. See a property line here, bud?
Yeah, you see it staring anywhere? That creek was formed probably about 1,000 years ago from the looks of it. Tell by how worn the rocks are. Down here, see if we can find us a beaver dam.
Guys, here's a map of what we're looking at, okay? Guys, right here behind me, I think the Red Beaver has found his first beaver dam. Is that Beaver?
Old beaver.
Old Beaver? He can sniff out an old beaver in a heartbeat, guys.
Appears to be an old beaver dam. Hard to disseminate the age.
Built by an old beaver or a young beaver?
It's definitely a family of beavers. Probably had one matriarch, one patriarch. They're gone. Damn shame. Damn shame.
Guys, this place is awesome. Look behind me right here. We've got a spring just bubbling out of the ground. There's another one right over here. Lots of good water on this place. And what did I say about buying land in the previous video? Water, 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 okay? We really got to think water. I'll show you this spring. It's pretty awesome. It's just water bubbling up out of the ground.
Looks like it starts right here. And it's definitely flowing.
Yeah, that's some good water flow.
Beavers need water.
Beavers need water. So behind me there's a patch of creeping juniper. Really cool stuff. We're gonna go through it, Jurassic Park style. I think the Red Beaver has actually found a pond. Is there a pond up there?
Looks like a dam.
Is there a pond up there, Red Beaver? Awesome, guys. Right behind me, this is an old dam. You can see where it busted right here. We've got an old dam right here. So we're gonna walk up on the other end of it and see what it's all about. So we're walking out on this pond dam right here, guys. Right behind me is the old pond dam, and you can see where the Red Beaver is down here. The pond had washed away the old dam, so something we could easily repair and have another pond. Awesome. Another spring. God, there's so much water on this place. Guys, we had a huge breakfast this morning, and we were out in the middle of nowhere, and I got nothing. I got to go to the bathroom. I got nothing going on here to clean up with. Drama and the
Orange vest.
I got a nice orange vest.
A bikini top.
I think It's too nice to use for excremental activities. Another creek, guys, another creek right here, and a nice substantial creek. This place has water all over it. Awesome buy. We're getting a great buy in this place. I just wanted to walk it and make sure that it's exactly what we're looking for, but it seems awesome. See any beaver dams out there?
No beavers here.
No beavers here, guys. Sorry. What do you think, Red Beaver?
I think there were some beavers here at one time. Yeah, there were some beavers here at one time. Long gone, obviously. I think there was a whole family of beavers in here at one time.
Big beavers?
There are definitely some big beavers. Big beavers love wet areas like this.
Man, this stuff's super duper thick. This is Blair Witch country right here. Red Beaver sniffed out another corner right here behind me, so we went ahead and marked it with some tape. So guys, we're basically following this fence line right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's buried up right in here, and it goes right straight through to where the old red beaver's sniffing. Back in here, we found an old roadbed. We're walking down the roadbed, and this appears to be the property line right here on the other side of the old roadbed, so it's pretty cool. Had a fella make a comment on my last video about me going, woo! Let me tell you about going, woo! It's because I'm happy. Isn't that right, Red Beaver? Woo! Woo! There's a wide open road right here. It's pretty cool. This is this way. If you turn around, back that way, it's way open. Nice. So guys, there's probably a 200-year-old tree back here behind me. It's a great old big beech tree. Awesome. Maybe you're asking yourself, why are we doing this? What's going on here? Why is Stoney Ridge Farmer taking me on a walk? Because this is a farm vlog, guys, and this is what's going on the farm today. We've got to check out this new property, got to see what we got, and we got an old tree here. We're going to check this tree over and see if it's got any carvings in it. These old beech trees will keep carvings for like 100 years, so we'll see if we can find a date on it. We haven't found anything crazy, but if you look, like right in here, there's something that was carved, and then over here, and then up here. You can't really make out what it was, but somebody carved it. Guys, I'm gonna point this camera directly up into this tree and let you check it out. It's just very impressive. It's hard to say on camera how impressive this thing is, but check it out. Just a massive tree. Awesome. It's gonna be ours. It's gonna be the Stoney Ridge tree. Big old Stoney Ridge tree. Woo! So the Red Beaver followed the old roadbed, sniffed, and just couldn't find it. Checked all the signs. There were no signs of life, no signs of beavers, no signs of nothing. So anyway, the old roadbed just kind of faded away. That's what we used as a corner marker back in the day. Guys, when you look back at old deeds and old property lines that were handwritten back from like the early 1900s, late 1800s, they didn't say to the metal stake here, to the metal stake there. They said to the mulberry tree here, to the big rock here, to this, to that, to the creek bottom. So that's how property lines were marked back in the day. We lucked up here and we found an old fence line, and we're walking that fence line and finding all the property markers. Rad. Let me show you back here behind us though. There's some nice, big, pretty trees here. I'm really happy with what we've got going on here. Another sign of a survey, guys, that we found. 3 marks. 1, 2, 3. 3 little slits in the tree. That's the mark of a property line. We're right on it. Awesome. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, Red Beaver's been cheating. He's been using the map I've got on my phone. We're smart people. We took a map. Got a corner of a fence here, guys, so we found another spot and we marked it.
Line comes up and sort of the backyard on the third parcel over there. We should be able to see a house just on the other side of that pine thicket. I can see the building from here. Where the trees change,
yep. That's
your line. Let's walk it.
Got there, Red Beaver.
Remains of a white-tailed deer.
Yeah. Guys, all jokes aside, this guy's really good at sniffing out property lines. He's awesome. Do I look pale? Guys, I've given myself a new nickname. Prairie Dog. Prairie Dog and bad. Woo. Me and Red Beaver here have a little bit of a conflict. I think that this is the tree for the line because there's 3 marks on it, and that's a normal thing, is 3 marks. What do you think?
I think we're too far. I think this is another corner. I think the corner we need is way down. If you look at the map, we're too far up in these other people's property. It just doesn't show us being parallel to both these. Beaver's never wrong. Plus I smell it down there.
We are somewhere in this area right here. Right there. He says that we're accidentally up here. And he's taking us back to there. Guys, Beaver always thinks he's right. We're gonna prove him wrong. So we walked the property lines, guys. We walked all over this property, zigzagging it, walked up the creeks. There are old road beds. We walked up the road beds. What do you think? What's your overall view of the property that we walked?
I think overall it's a beautiful piece of land. You can tell there's a lot of wildlife there.
Yeah, a lot of game trails and stuff. There were a lot of deer stands and stuff like that from other people, and looked like people have been feeding the animals corn back there and hunting. We didn't have quite an intrusion problem like you thought we would have.
I think the neighbor's probably using that land more so than we might think. It's not hunting season now, so we really can't get an idea. But the fact you live up here, you're going to monitor the land, you'll be on the land quite a bit. I don't think that's a problem. If it is a problem, it can certainly be rectified.
Yeah, so our thoughts are with this land, like I said, we've got, I think it's like a 5-acre field along with the land. We'll probably use that for hay. We need to get out there and mow that pretty quick because it's starting to grow up in like briars and brambles and little pine trees and stuff, so we got to get out there and mow that pretty quickly. Just talked to the bank, working on financing and stuff like that. You're pretty much locked into a high interest rate when you get ready to buy a piece of property like this. So there's only one place here in North Carolina that I can find that will loan money on land. That being said, you're in a pinch trying to buy this land. I talked to the guy, see if I could talk my interest rate down. I don't know. Thought about maybe going to family and asking for a loan, but you know how that could be. So if any of you guys know of any place that you can get land finance, post me in the comments down there so that I can figure it out. It would be nice to know a better place with a lower interest rate. When you go to buy a house with land, it's different. You can buy a house with like up to 10 acres or so and get a conventional loan, but once you get above that, you have to pay a higher down payment and a higher interest rate, which seems totally unfair to me, especially if you have good credit. Doesn't that seem unfair?
It certainly does. That seems awfully high, that rate you were quoted. Hopefully it'll come down some.
We have to fork out, you know, half of what we have in savings or more in order to buy this land. You know, what's the risk versus reward? Are we going to make a ton of money on this land? Probably not. What are we going to do with this land? Are we going to enjoy it? Is it to keep people from building on it so that we can keep the place country around here? Pretty much is what it is. We'll probably harvest our trees on the land, which we have a lot of trees out there. Most likely you'd get anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 an acre for your trees. So the land may pay for itself just by cutting the trees, but then we have to replant, and it's a lot of work. Red Beaver here walked the property lines with me, man, and he sniffed them things out like crazy. I was wrong, he was right. I'll admit it.
That's rare.
Yep, it is pretty rare. A rare state of mind here. Maybe last night I might have stayed up too late or something. I know I had a bad prairie dog problem when I was out on the trail, you know. That seems to have subsided. I turned a little green for a minute. Yeah,
that can throw off your sense of direction.
Yeah, it does throw off your sense. Yeah, it throws off your sense of talking too. Anyway, guys, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Wanted to take you, show you the process that we go through before we buy land. I take my Red Beaver here, and he's...
I don't like that way that was worded.
I get my Red Beaver out, and I take him I take him for a walk on the land, and he sniffs out all the property lines and looks for beaver tracks. So, guys, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Thanks for joining me today. It's a little bit of a slow day. Wanted to show you what the process was in looking at land and walking the property lines, trying to find the property corners, and just seeing what the overall lay of the land is, the quality of the land. Is it rocky? Is it hilly? Is there water? Man, there were like, what, how many creeks? 6?
Yeah, I'd say it's
6 creeks. 5 or 6 creeks. Springs bubbling up everywhere. There was an old pond. There's an old truck down in the creek bottom down there. Just kind of cool old stuff, but overall the land was pretty clean, pretty clear. Not very many giant boulders or anything like that, so it's something that we could totally use here on the farm and also prevent houses from moving in on us so we can have our privacy. Anyhow, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Thanks for joining me,
Red Beaver,
on the trip around the new farmland, okay? So come back and see me. Check out some of the other videos. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, all right? Woo! That's a Red Beaver for you.